Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're checking out the year 4 balance changes for the number 1 Shunner. And Chun-li, I feel like in this patch, the biggest change by far is to modern Chun-li. They gave her Hazanshu's in modern, where prior you only had the medium version, I believe. Now you have light, medium, heavy, which is a huge change. I feel like with this patch, they buffed Modern a lot, and Chun-Li in Modern was already one of the best characters, so that actually is a huge deal. But let's check out like the proper changes. So the first one is to her Serenity Stream, that is a stance. And prior with Chun-Li, one thing I always found odd is that the game never told you how to get out of stance. So even check out the command list and you see fireball backwards, light, medium, heavy, but it never told you how to get out of it. And you will see pro players doing stuff like that, right? Especially if you're watching Moki, like he loves doing stuff. Moki and Haitani, they love doing stuff like that. And it never was clear how they're doing it. Unless you watched the Makamura's guide, you didn't know how to get out of stance. But you used to do fireball backwards. So you do fireball once, fireball again, and she gets out. Now what they done is that they kinda made her like Alex, where if you enter stance and then press upwards, you now just get out of stance. And this helps because there were situations like the corner combo situation, say where you're doing like combos into OD Tenshu kick. Like that stuff was kind of hard to get because you had to do it manually, and as you can see here, I messed it up. I should be -2, so I delayed it by 1 frame. But now the fact that you get the up input, it's gonna be a lot easier, right? So that stuff is a lot easier, which is cool. Now, actually going back to this particular setup, they also buffed Chun-Li's overhead out of stance. This used to be -3, now it is +1, and that is really cool. So obviously this is hit confirmable. Like you can hit confirm it into the OD spinning bird kick and you're getting knocked down. But remember the setup I just showed you. So one of the things is you would do the heavy Tenchi quick, you would go for the overhead, and this would leave you at a +3. So most Chun-Li players, what they would do if this happened to get blocked is that they would drive rush to maintain pressure, to maintain momentum. But now, because this is +1, you are still getting like the pressure regardless. So that is actually a pretty big and cool change for Chun-Li. Having an overhead that is hit confirmable, that leads to launcher, and having that being like +1 block, that actually is pretty cool. I think these two changes just make Chun-Li easier to play, right? Which is pretty cool. And they also changed her medium kick lightning legs and the overdrive, and this is just a quality of life consistency change, where now even if you're hitting it at like the tip range, Chun-Li moves forward a lot. Right, Chun-Li moves forward a lot before the attack startup, and I feel like that is really cool in some situations. Like say when Ryu's doing stuff like medium kick, donkey kick, which Chun-Li was one of the few characters that could actually punish it. But now because of the added movement, this should be a little bit easier. I want to see how consistent this is now. Maybe not as much as I would like to, but yeah. So now it moves her forward a little bit more, so you have slightly more range on that, which is really cool. They buffed Light Hazanshu, where as you can see, this used to be -5, now it's -4, and that actually is a good buff, because from this range, characters with really good standing light kicks, they were able to punish you, but now they don't. Right, they're gonna have to punish with their crouching jabs, so this is a better poke. Now they also changed this so that it kind of worked like before in juggles, because in the previous patch says that you got this, right, the level 3 would not connect, but now it does. Like if you have it to ground bounce, now it does, so that is a cool buff for the Shunner. The final changes are kind of meaningless, to be honest. It's a change to the medium kick Tenshu kick, where it gives you more drive. Like you're getting more drive gauge out of that. And I guess the idea is say that you got like 1 drive gauge maybe incentivize you here to use a medium kick Tenshu instead of the heavy. So you are getting more meter, but it's not a big deal. Like this is, I don't know if this is as big of a deal as they want, but you are getting more drive gauge in that situation. Although the juggle is a lot worse. So I don't know. Maybe as an anti-air as well, this could be a little bit better because now you are getting more drive. But yeah, you are getting more drive on that. The final change is a change to her heavy Tenshu kick, where now this has throw invul. I don't know what is the point of this. Like, I genuinely don't know what's the point of this. Like, Chun-Li already have, like, air legs. She already have other ways. And you're still getting grabbed on startup. So this is, like, on frame 9. So it's, like, a really late activation on the throw invis. So I don't see what is the point of this. But the changes will make Chun-Li easier, and I think with the other top tiers getting some nerfs, that is gonna help her a little bit. They don't have clear direction. Instead of modern Chun-Li is even better now, so that is cool. Manon. I'm going through my main waifus here, the characters that I did actually play. So Manon needs a lot of help. So let's check out her changes. So the first one is change to her standing medium kick, where now this is 0 on hit instead of being -2, right? So you are getting better combos out of it. Like if you happen to get the counter hit, you can combo into the light middle, which is pretty cool. I think the idea is they want this to be a good buffer. So it's like you can do that, right? I don't know how viable that is, but even just this having more plus frames, I guess that's cool, but I don't know, like, because on punish counter, I think this always worked, so I'm not sure what is the benefit of this, but at least now on a counter hit, you are getting it, which is cool. Crouching medium kick. This is used to be +3, now it is +4, and so you are supposedly like getting that now, but like you have to be point blank as heck to get it. So I'm not sure like how viable this is. Like why would you crouching medium kick point blank? See what I'm saying? If they are a little bit from a distance, it's not gonna work, right? But the upside to having the +4 on the crouching medium kick is that on a drive rush, it's gonna be +8. So you are getting the back heavy punch consistently, even without the counter rate. So that actually is that's a decent buff for her. Now they changed the most quote-unquote niche move for Manon, and the change here is to her slide roll thing, where on a punish counter, as you can see, they just used to fly towards you. Now they tumble a little bit, and the idea here is you got this punish counter, like you can then combo into like a level 1 super or a level 2. Right, so bam, I can do that. I can undo to So like if you happen to get a long range wave punish, that could be useful. This move is hard to use anyways, and it is slow. Like it's 11 frame startup, but it does have travel time. But I think it could work really well as a sweep punish actually. Like I can see that being a really nice sweep punish because you are getting good damage here. Undo, oh my god. Undo to that's 4k. Not too bad. It's not too bad. Like maybe this is something that you can work. I think the main purpose of this move is oh my god, I did the Manon guide. Like you can see, I'm not gonna explain like why would you want to use this move, but it was mostly like as an anti-air for stuff like Honda's neutral jump, like Kimberly's elbow, stuff like that. Maybe with punish for Dulcim limbs, but I can see it having some value as a sweep punish now because what you're getting is really good. Yeah, like you typically sweat back because you got the hard knockdown, which give you a good situation, and you can go for the heavy punch, which also will give you like the launcher. But I think what you're getting out of that now is slightly better. I think so. Um, Next up is a change to her command grabs, where now this have a third active frame instead of two. I'm not sure exactly how this is gonna impact things, because typically with command grab, most of the time, what matters the most is the startup, because this dictates like what ticks you can use, what ticks rows you can use. But yeah, that's cool. Overdrive the gag, which is this one. So this actually is probably like the biggest buff that Manon got. So the idea here is that when this hits when this hits aerial opponents, they have to be in the air, as they will do that bounce, as you can see. And this is cool because this will actually work into Manon's pressure. Like say that let's say that Ryu is gonna try to jump backwards, or he's just gonna try to block something and then jump. Like I did a drive, rush, crouching, medium punch, and then he's gonna try to jump because he's expecting a command grab, right? So now you can do that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm scared now. I'm scared now because this doesn't seem as consistent as, oh my god. I think you can get a medal here. You can get a... So it will depend on how oh my god. Like you have to do it immediately. So you do get a light, which will give you a medal. That's actually pretty cool. I think you can go for the medium as well, which is cool. Can I get the other launcher? No, I don't think the forward spin kicks is gonna launch. Yeah, so this is a cool situation. You are getting something better out of it, but I'm worried about the consistency, because as you saw, it is possible that this may not work as well as you would want. The final changes are to her spin, and the idea here is to just improve them in the neutral, improve them as a poke. It should be better to just spin through stuff now. Oh my god. As I was saying, so this now have less recovery overall. Like if you do that, this used to be 32, now it's 27, so 5 less frames, which is cool. Like if you just want to go through fireballs, that is cool. And the regular one into kick, this now is this used to be -5, now it's -3. Now the ranges where you would use this from, typically you were getting the like they were not gonna be able to punish this -5 anyways, so this is not a huge deal. But at least the neutral situation afterwards is a little bit better, and my understanding is they want this to be better versus fireballs, but as you can see, it still loses. Still not ideal. Still not ideal, but yeah. Yep, like slower fireballs are still gonna eat you. Like you're still gonna have to go for the regular OD or even just the regular one to go through fireball. If you're going for the kick version, which is the ones that they're talking about here, it's not gonna make that much of a deal. I don't expect much to change about Manon, to be honest. Like they give her slightly better rewards in some situations, but they're not. I don't see anything here that is just like that's a huge deal. Not really, no. It's more of the same. Alright, now to my new passion, which is Crimson Viper. They actually buffed Viper, and they made her significantly easier to play, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit. So if you wanted to play Viper, but she was too intimidating for you, she is a big intimidating woman, now Viper is a lot more accessible in my opinion. So the first change is to her standing medium kick, where this used to be +4 on hit, now it's +5. And the difference here is that like you do that into feint, you are +5 now. So it's like you pretty much can like jump cancel a combo into standing light kick, which is pretty cool. This is one of her most used normals, so this is actually a pretty cool buff for her. As a hitbox on that is really good as well, right? So yeah. Love me some Viper's buffos. Crouching heavy kick, they increase the combo count upper limit. What this means that it's now better in juggles. So it's like there will be these situations now, but this mostly work with OD Seismo, where you can combo like OD Seismo into sweep, giving you some okay here, because some distances like you would only get like the thunder knuckle, but maybe you don't want to spend more drive, so they're giving you an alternative with the sweep, right? And it does have good range, so that is a decent knockdown. So there is that. Now, I think the biggest change to Viper in this patch is the change to her high jump and how it works. So prior says that you were holding crouching, right? You had to let go of the neutral and hit down and up again to get the super jump. So it's like, if I say wanted to do crouching medium kick into the light knuckle, I would do it that way. I would do crouching medium kick down, return to neutral, and then do the motion. But now they made it so that you don't have to return to neutral. I can be holding downward, bam, and as you can see, I'm getting the super jump, right? So I was down, backward, and did the half circle into up and punch, and I got it. So yeah. This makes her significantly easier to play in my opinion. Especially with stuff like crouching medium kick into like cross up burn kick and stuff. Dude, I don't have the muscle memory for this, but yeah. Like that is significantly easier now. Yeah. The fact that you don't have to return to neutral just makes this so much easier than it used to. Light Thunder Dash, that is her light, this one. Now this used to be +1 at worst, now it's +2, and the good thing here is that this goes under fireballs. Says that Ryu is gonna try to throw a fireball, right? Right, so this gives you +6, which means that you get a crouching medium punch. Obviously means that you are getting like Seismo into super jump, so that is a good buff for her. That is a significant buff, especially in matchups like Ryu, like Akuma, like Guile. This actually is a big change for Viper, so that's a big buff for her. They also improved the OD Seismo and Seismo in general. Pretty much improved the hitbox for the Seismo. The idea here is that you can do the OD Seismo into the regular one. So you are getting that. Let's put them in the corner. Although the juggle is kind of finicky, and the timing on this cancel is pretty weird, I'll say. Because if you do it immediately, it whiffs. Like you have to delay it ever so slightly. Come on, Muda. Yeah, but as you can see, like the burn kick isn't super consistent, so I'm not sure how valuable this is gonna be. But maybe because some situations like you would do the Seismo into Seismo and they jump, but this also works only for the OD, so I'm not sure how good this is, but yeah. They also changed her OD Seismo so that now this is -6 on block. Used to be -8. You are still unsafe, but if you say do that, that's not bad, right? That's not bad. That's a cool buff, and they buffed it so that you are getting the sweep. That is the ones that you saw prior. And the final change is to her focus force, that is the focus attack. Now this change is kind of in depth, so let me explain it. The idea with Viper is that a lot of the times you are doing the feints, right? So you're doing fireball backwards and then punch kick to cancel. Sometimes you would do them together, and instead like you will get the focus force. So what you did is that if I'm holding punch, like I'm holding heavy punch now, if I'm doing fireball backwards and kick, I'm not getting the focus. And the idea is they want to make it so that you don't get it by mistake when you are trying to go for the feints, right? So it's a quality of life change, but pretty decent one. Overall, Viper didn't get buffed in the sense, but she got a little bit more streamlined and she became a little bit easier to play. I think this change is actually big. I think this change is especially for crouching moves, because her crouching medium kick was already like one of her best moves, and being able to do that easier, that's a huge change. I think that's a huge change for Viper and a lot of Viper players. Overall, streamlined a little bit on how you can use her. Alright, now moving over to Cammy, and Cammy got small changes, but I think they're actually gonna matter a lot. So the first change is to her light punches, or lights in general, her standing light punch, crouching light punch, and crouching light kick. So you can chain lights, right? Light, and typically, although lights are negative on block, when you are chaining light attacks, because you are canceling the recovery, they can frame trap, right? So what they done is that they made it so that you have more stagger window. Instead of having one frame to go for it, now you have three, so you can slightly stagger these lights even more, right? I think that actually this is one of these changes where it may seem small on paper, but it's gonna have cool effects. It's gonna be a little bit better to pressure with lights with Cammy, so that's actually cool. Standing heavy kick. They changed how this works on a punish counter, where now the opponent is they are flying for higher. They are in the juggle state for more. And as you can see, this now gives Cammy a plus 47, so she is getting like double dashes into like plus frames, and she's still plus. But I think in the corner as well, because they are being floated high for so long, like you can get an uppercut which will juggle here. You didn't used to get that prior, so maybe in some situations in the corner you got the whiff punish, bam, footsies, you are getting the uppercut, which is really cool. Mid screen, I don't think you get much. I tried super, I tried level 3, it doesn't work. So let me know if she actually does get something mid-screen, but I'm pretty sure so far that she is not. The other change is to her back medium watch. Now this is plus on block, and they reduced the pushback, so that says that you're up close like that, especially out of a drive rush, you are in throw range, so that actually is cool. And I think this will just work with her other moves as well. Right, so this is now the frame trap, which this didn't used to work before. This move had 5 active frames, by the way, so it's like it already was a move that you could meaty to be plus on block, but now it's flat out plus on block, which is a decent buff for her. Gotta make her, I think that with the changes to light, they're trying to buff Cammy's offense and make her rush down a little bit better, so that actually is a pretty big change. Right, I think that's actually a huge change for Cammy. The final change to Cammy is to her OD spin knuckle, and again, we're going in the direction of trying to make Cammy slightly stronger, especially offensively. This now leaves Cammy at a plus 3 on block. This used to be minus 2, now it's plus 3. This still have its anti-fireball capabilities, right? It got nerfed a lot in the prior patch. I think this was like the season 2 patch where they really nerfed this, but yeah, so now you can throw this out. If they throw the fireball, you get the punish counter. If not, you're still plus 3, probably got the woke up. So overall, one thing I will say is that if you happen to cross up, it's still minus 2, so it's only on as upfront. Now, the final change to Cammy is to her charged specials, where now when you charge them, they're gonna come out in the earliest possible frame. And I think this is gonna buff some situations where like she maybe was not able to get some combos prior. Like, is that gonna work? I'm not sure. I think in some situations like that, she is gonna get better combos. But overall, I think with the nerfs to the top tiers, especially Ed, especially Mai, she is looking to be in a pretty decent position.